Hello viewers, nice to see you. Welcome to round 2 of the Daytona Sandown Park Championship. We're in the dmax category and we are in very much a wet race. Round 1 was a really amazing experience for me personally. Because I won the leads and the final as well. But as we're going to see today, today is a little bit more of a challenging race. I think I had a very good kart. So we'll see what we can do today. We're starting P3 now. If anyone who doesn't know, for the Inkart, you start, you have 2 heats, one towards the front and one towards the rear, and then your fastest lap dictates the next one into the final. So here we go, we're up to turn 1 and we get an enormous hit from behind. And if I stop talking a moment, you might be able to hear that it was a big hit, and it's actually kind of done something to the sound of the camera. This is a stabilising camera, so it might not have looked as big as it did, but I went sort of as I felt the contact, and the sound sounded a bit funny, but it did actually push us up into the lead. So no harm done there, but we have already relinquished the lead to Jacob Owen, and it looks like Jacob Owen is going to be our biggest title rival in the championship. So after round 1 I was leading the championship because round 1 went very, very well, and it's important to enjoy those days because they don't always go as well as that. I'd love to try and claim that I turn up and win every race, but of course I don't. So there's Jacob out in the lead, and he looks like he's going to be very, very quick all season, so we're just going to need to try and stick with him. So just to go back to what I was saying at the start of the session, we get the sort of no bumping board. I don't know what happened behind me, but I think the marshal there was just sort of putting the no bumping board out to the entire field. I suspect he looked pretty bored and like he was just telling everyone to behave themselves. But of course we are on slick tyres, into the first corner it's so tricky to spot your braking point and everything like that. So the really good thing about the Inkart at Sandown Park in particular is that the layout changes massively, and so I've never really done this layout before. I have had the odd the odd sort of wildcard entry into Inkart series, so I have actually done this track layout, but only once before, and I suspect some of the drivers that I am going to be racing against this season know these layouts a little bit better than me. So in the layout that I knew really well in round 1, that's just a normal GP circuit, that was no problem at all. Knew that like the back of my hand, so it's pretty competitive, but this layout here is definitely all about learning for me, and this corner here is one area where I think I'd definitely, if I was to do this track again, I would definitely perhaps try and do a different line there. Certainly into turn 1 as well, I was not as quick there as I should have been, and you can see on the right hand side I'm sort of trying to take the karting line, the wet line. But in these parts of the track which aren't regularly used, I think it's actually probably worth trying to take the racing line. I'll tell you a little bit later on. I'll show you where you don't want to be, and essentially it's wherever there's normally rubber down. So this here is quite a big breaking point of the drawing. There's rubber down, and you can see that the rear end was trying to step away there. And again, on the inside here, there's normally a lot of rubber, and on the inside of this corner, there's a lot of rubber. There's loads of grip around the outside there in the wet. But this is the start-finish line, and sorry about the droplet on the camera. But we go around the outside, and I don't think we would do that again. And again, around the outside of this corner, I think those 2 corners, you'll probably be better off trying to track the inside line there. It takes a little while for me to work that out, and this is one of the reasons I like to record the footage. I can go back and I can see exactly how and why and where and when I'm getting all of this wrong. Now, I'm not sure about this corner. This corner here is kind of normally the first corner, and you'd expect not to be on the inside line, but I think because the camber changes ever so slightly, it sort of helps to hug the inside a little bit. But these heats are about 10 minutes long, so 10 minutes each, and then a 15-minute final. And you can see that Jacob is ever so slightly every single lap just pulling away. And again, if you can just see on the right-hand side there, you'll notice that the track was slightly drier, and I was sort of too slow to realise this, too slow to recognise this. The camber is better on the inside there as well, so we pick up a little bit of dry line there, and again round the outside, almost into the barrier. We do actually sort of end up in that barrier a little bit towards the end of this session. It might be the next session actually. We get away with it, all right. Taking very much the outside line there. You want to be a little bit careful. I wouldn't want to be any wider than that, but this corner here you want to be on the inside, on the exit, and I'll show you why a little bit later. So we're just trying out the different lines here, going really narrow, just trying to avoid any rubber that's been laid down by the braking on a dry line. And there we are on to the next lap. So got our first yellow flag, and this is where it's going to be really important actually to sort of not lose time. And you can see, I think I've had a dodgy sort of couple of corners. Maybe I've slowed down a bit more, but I believe this yellow flag, I think it's yes. If you look at the top right hand side of the screen, that's gonna. This is the guy here who's caused it, and he's actually not particularly slow. He's just we're obviously about to kind of come around and lap him, but he's not actually particularly slow. He's just stuffed it in the barrier, and we're going to we're going to need to lap him. A bit of a learning opportunity here for me. Now, I didn't need to try and overtake him because we weren't losing huge amounts of time. We're not the fastest on track today here, and it's unlikely that we were going to win the race. So we have gapped him. We are making up a little bit of time here, but in a minute I think I'm going to make a mistake that we're going to see. I nearly spin it and nearly end up actually in the pit lane just by trying to get past him. I was behind him for a couple of laps, but looking back on it, it's just really frustrating that I just didn't sit behind him, because he's not particularly slow. There are no blue flags. You've got to make your way past. If someone it's only a 10-minute heat, so if someone is getting lapped, it's probably because they've spun, and it's not because they're that slow. Daytona do have this 125% rule, so it's very unlikely that you're going to be coming up against people who are very slow. As I said, you live and learn. So there we are. It's actually quite useful because Jacob is obviously quite a lot faster. Someone's copped a penalty there. It is actually quite useful to have someone a little bit closer to us, both in pace and positioning on the track, because you can literally see now, it's much more obvious where I'm losing time by going tight into turn 1. I think we did actually gap this guy by quite a lot, and then going wide into turn 2, we lost that time. Nice exit there. Seem to be making up a reasonable amount of time on the brakes. We're just going to sort of show him my nose. We're going to go up the inside. Now I feel that towards the end of the day I made this inside line work much better than I was doing here, but here we go. I think I'm going to go for it up the inside. Yes, I am going to go for it, but there we are. Overcooked it, and it's super frustrating because now we have lost all of those places. And like I said, there's really no need to do that. I could sense that there were a couple of people behind me who were reasonably close, but I didn't feel that I was particularly under threat, and that would have been a relatively straightforward second place, which has just been thrown away. And it's my own fault, it's a frustrating mistake to have made, but every day's a school day, so we'll have to just learn from that. And talking about learning, we're just now going to follow around a couple of people who were pretty quick and see what they're doing differently. You can see this guy up ahead, he's using the curve, he's going a bit wide and then cutting back in. So like I said, just to the right here, this is the ball turn 2. And that's a very, very heavy braking zone, so there's going to be a lot of rubber laid down there. I'm just going to practice on braking into here. I'm not really sure what the right line was for this corner. It's a kind of terrifying corner in the back because you've got that was going to say before we started, doing some slightly interesting overtakes was this is a new format run by Daytona at Sandown Park. We start at the beginning, start at the back. This idea of heats, and I have to say, I think it works really, really well. Last year, I understand they did just kind of a sort of a qualifying session and a race, a bit like a Formula 1 Grand format. But this is really, really exciting, starting in the front, starting in the rear, and then starting the pre-final. Now, I'm sure anyone who watches Formula 1 or touring cars or anything like that knows that the most exciting part is the start of the race, and that's exactly the same when you're taking part in the races as well. You know, it's a real opportunity. See if you can make up as many places as you can, and then you definitely want to be starting races as regularly as possible. It's really, really exciting. So I just want to say well done and thank you to Daytona and staff at Sandown Park for coming up with this format. It's really, really great, really interesting. I'll stop talking, let you watch the end of this race. Oh yeah, that's actually where we get into the barrier, so we get a warning for that, just a calm down warning. I don't know what I was thinking there actually. I think, to be honest, today I didn't drink quite enough water, and I was just nutrition beforehand, and I just lost a little bit of concentration there, which normally you shouldn't do, particularly in the case where you've got several heats taking place. So you've only got 10 minutes to drive, then another 10 minutes. You'll have done up to an hour races before, and you'll be forgiven for losing a little bit of concentration towards the end of those. But 10 minutes is really no excuse to be losing concentration. As we pick up on a warning for crashing the car. But having nutrition and making sure you have a good breakfast, being hydrated. You shouldn't be struggling again, particularly in wet conditions for fatigue, because dry conditions you have got sort of a little bit of G-force. You have got the steering being quite heavy. The steering's really, really light in wet conditions. So physically it's less than mentally probably a little bit. But hopefully you enjoyed the rest of this heat, and I will be back talking to you for the final. Okay, so welcome to the final. Now you can see that we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th on the grid, and the final is not actually dictated by how you do in terms of your position in the races. It's actually based more on your lap time. So you can see here that we weren't really the fastest today. We were the 5th fastest overall, we just really weren't as competitive as we were in round one. It's a real shame. I had no idea that I was going to do so well in round one. I didn't didn't record it, which I'm gutted about now, because I'm basically going to have a load of footage of me spinning and not doing very well, much more footage, not as much footage of me doing really well. So anyway, you live and learn. It's just a short delay there. One of the karts was a little bit slow to fire up, but we're off and we're underway now. And you can see that the sky is a little bit bluer. It's still very much going to be a wet race. So we've got 3 lightweights and 1 heavyweight in front of us, and we're off into turn 1, and there's never such a sort of slight nibble between the 3 of the karts there, rubbing is racing, as they say, and we're just going to go around the outside of the guy who started in just ahead of us. So we're actually up in position here, 2 in front, as we lose our position again. 2 in front, just bumper to bumper there. A bit of
was unbelievable how slow I was.
It was really, it was quite embarrassing. Now, by the end, there's a guy there called Lee Whitney, who's just, he's a heavyweight, I was a lightweight. He's just incredible, particularly in the wet. He's just miles quicker than anyone else. And I think he was something like 5 seconds quicker than me in that first wet race in qualifying. Now, by the end of the season, he was something like 3 or 4 tenths quicker than me, and that's just because I and winning. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Do come down to Daytona Sandown Park, give it a go. It's great. And I'll see you for the next one.